Hello, Fightful Faithful. Welcome to the Tuesday Graps show. Sour Graps. It is sour like a pungent cheese because that's the puns for tonight.
Oh my
It's
God,
cheese
there's a
puns.
reason I do this. Welcome to the Sour Graps post show for NXT on July 25th. Guys, get in your super chats and your humper chats at humperchats.com. I've got a lot of favors to ask of you at the beginning of shows. So bear with me as we go through them because there's a lot. But we are going to ask you to leave a thumbs up on this video because it helps people find us in the algorithm. So if you could do that, that would be so neat. The second thing we're going to ask you to do, subscribe to this YouTube channel. We are closing in on 100,000 subscribers. Very exciting landmark for us. There's like subscriber exclusive content going up. And Sean said when we get to 100,000, he's going to do a Q&A show. So a specialty one that's normally something we do behind the paywall. The paywall, you say? The paywall? What paywall? Well, I'm talking about the Fightful Select paywall where you can get all the latest and greatest breaking news on FightfulSelect.com. Scoop skis like pretty much always all the time, plus a bunch of bonus content, plus like you get me and Alex doing pay-per-view post shows, which is it's just a hoot. And you get us doing the Raw review, and you get Alex doing SmackDown gimmick
Or Collision, one of the two usually.
SmackDown Collision thing, depending on how he's feeling that day.
Yeah.
Or depending on how much bad wrestling he can take.
Right. Well, this weekend I'm going to be up at a friend's lake house on Saturday, so looks like no Collision for this boy. So probably going to do a SmackDown review on Friday. So there you go.
Can I
go? Can you get yourself to New Lisbon, Wisconsin?
I probably could, but I'm not going to lie. There are closer lakes than Wisconsin. Like I could drive like an hour and a half to a lake.
Yeah. There you go.
So that might not be in the cards. But in the cards tonight, cheese puns stemming from yesterday when the Cease twins were getting each other's cheese sticks, but their phones were dead. So they were using our chat to communicate about said cheese sticks.
Yes.
So we're doing cheese puns.
Yeah, cheese puns.
Alex, I thought we were going to be doing candy puns. And you might say, why? Because it was such a sweet show tonight. And I say, no, sir. But because yesterday Raw was so bad that we talked about runts for like 25 minutes and banana flavored stuff, which I find out way too many people like, including Shaza, who I thought was in my corner.
No.
She's pro banana Laffy Taffy. So now I hope that Sean DDTs her. It's a very heartbreaking revelation. I thought we were going to talk about candy for a lot longer today because this wasn't the best show in the world either, Alex.
No. We're going to start with one cheese pun from the very great Henry the Casey, who starts us off with Mike the Wiz Wizanin. That's how it's starting. JW Pringle also says Alex and Kate, the dynamic duo, Papa Paul, Elizabeth, you pillar of wisdom, sisters of cheese sticks, Jake, Jam Man, Alpha Bill, Luis, and all the SGS. For the record, cherry over banana all day, every day.
God bless you for a correct and proper take from when we used to be a proper country. And people would put cherry over fake banana flavored things all the time.
Back when candy flavors were man. Yeah. CO says Jimmy and Jay, the quesos.
Welcome to the queso.
To the queso penitentiary. Honestly, the queso penitentiary sounds like the place I would want to go to jail. If I had to go to jail for an extended period of time, sign me up for the queso penitentiary because that sounds delicious. 20 years to life of deliciousness. Hot, melty deliciousness. I'm all for it. Let's do it.
A prison to who is what I asked.
Yeah. Dominik Mysterio, of course, won the North American title last week. Then they on SmackDown they jobbed out Pete Dunne to him, and just last night they jobbed out Sami Zayn to him. And this Sunday, they're going to job out Wesley and Mustafa Ali to him because tonight they made a triple threat match. We were like, what happened to us, Kate? Like to us as a society? Like we were moving right along. Everything was set up for a Wesley versus Mustafa Ali one-on-one classic. Like going back to, like, it would have felt like we had been transported back in time to the days of the NXT takeover. Seeing Mustafa Ali versus Wesley one-on-one for the North American title, the workers' title, you could call it. That was all set up for us at Great American Bash. And I would argue, regardless of who won that, there was going to be some more Tyler Bate in that picture. We're going to get maybe a triple threat of those guys against each other, maybe some more one-on-one matches, some really great wrestling, if you will. And then somewhere along the line, we had to insert Dominik Mysterio into the process, and now we're going to get Mustafa Ali and Wesley, and one of them, probably Mustafa Ali, having his pinfall snaked out from under him by Dominik Mysterio, who will retain this Sunday and make us all sad.
If you have like an entire roster of people at your disposal,
yeah,
how is this the thing you come up with? Like, how do you actually manage to pick dollars to donuts the worst wrestler on your roster? I mean, no redeeming qualities. And make him main event a terrible Raw. I'll say a mid NXT because there was some good stuff. It was sure to be a terrible SmackDown. Yeah. Why would you do this to me? Why would you do this? Here's the thing. It's G1 season, Alex. Okay. It's G1 season. And you know what? This show started while I was finishing up a night that had Naito and Yano and Eddie Kingston versus Inari, and Zack Sabre Jr. versus Alec Coughlin. So I can't say that I was like paying attention to this with like every ounce of my human being.
No.
But Alex, even if I was not watching this banger of a G1, I would rather stare at my wall. I'm out of, after last week, after they decided to end Wesley's title reign to someone who is bad at everything, I just ran out of steam. Like I cannot possibly pour a minute of mental energy into this garbage. And if one more dork tells me, oh, it's real heat, no, it's not. Because now I don't even care.
Yeah, it's listen.
Real heat, you still have to suspend your disbelief for. You know what I mean? I can't suspend my disbelief with this guy because he sucks.
Right.
This isn't like protected. This isn't like back in the day when you thought people were really like. No, this was like there's a very famous car ride that ended that a long time ago. Okay.
Yeah.
Like I can't buy into this crap because he sucks at every aspect of this. So his crappy promos don't get me. His crappy in-ring doesn't get me. Right. And that doesn't make him a real heel. That makes him pathetic as his job. And I'm tuned the out.
Right. I guess
no different in this opening segment.
Right. My point is this. The only thing that he brings to the table is that he is Rey Mysterio's son, which is the only reason they were able to run the program that they did. That in the eyes of some got him over as a heel because of the familial connection. If you just ran some random dude attacking Rey Mysterio over and over again without that familiar connection, perhaps that particular program doesn't get over with the people it gets over with. Fine. Since then, since they've moved him away from that, if you replaced him, if you replaced him with, let's say, someone who can cut promos and work, it would still be the same thing, but it wouldn't be impossible to watch because of the poor quality of it. To me, like, you can say it's fun to boo him. Would it not be fun to boo somebody who was actually good at their job? Couldn't we could put literally anybody else on the roster in place of him, and it would still be fun to boo that guy? Like, that's my thing, is he doesn't bring anything to the table uniquely to assuage all the other bad things about him. It's just,
it's also a load of crap from like a lot of other perspectives. So I don't want to just keep focusing on Dom's incompetence, because I could do that all day, and I do. I hate the overbooking about it. I just don't like overbooking. I said it many a times this past week. I don't like Jeff Jarrett. I don't like House of Torture. I don't like overbooking. And I really don't like really, really lazy overbooking. And that's what we get with Judgment Day all the time. Every single face looks like an idiot, including Seth Rollins, because he was like, oh, I'm sure that in this situation, this person will show up alone and not with the same 3 other people they're always spotted with. So I will bring out only Sami Zayn. Every face looks like an idiot when you do this. It's so boring and dumb and repetitive. And the other thing is, even if Dom was good at his job, this character would not really be for me. I just don't like it, on top of him being bad at this. So, but if you want it to function in a greater context, I would say maybe don't run it into the ground.
Right.
Like, this stuff has a place. It's not for me, but it has a place when it's a 10-minute sliver on a show and not 40% of your programs.
It is funny because a lot of people, let's say in regards to LA Knight, are saying strike while the iron is hot. Come on, this guy's super over. Let's do it. And the reason that they're driving this into the ground is that they know it's unsustainable over the long term. So they are striking while the iron is hot for Dominik, because they're like, listen, there's no way he could possibly be this over in 6 months or a year. So let's do all of it now, because we know it's not sustainable in the long term. Anyway,
the thing is, your iron sucks. It's a dumb iron. It's a bad iron. Yeah. It's like the Monopoly iron, where you're like, you're too tiny to iron anything. How am I going to? Sure, you could go around a Monopoly board. I can't iron with this. Give me my little thimble.
Yeah. He and Rhea Ripley come out to start the show off, to gloat about the bad booking that put a title on Dominik. And Wesley comes out. He's no, we're not doing this. For 269 days. Nice. That title meant something. It stood for hard work, an opportunity for all. And you've come here and you've ruined all of that. And I'm not going to stand for it. And then Mustafa Ali comes out. And Mustafa Ali is a little upset. And I understand it, because Mustafa Ali is always upset, because with good reason, because of the booking. Because he was supposed to get a one-on-one match for the North American title and an honest-to-God program, which doesn't exist anymore. He's got the match, but it's a triple threat now. And the match will inherently, because instead of the match featuring 100% good workers, it now features 66% good workers and one absolute train wreck. So
guess who's going to carry the match, Alex?
Right.
Because it ain't the guy that's the champ.
No.
Which is fine. You want to make a chicken shit heel. Here's my problem. You did something really mean to me yesterday, and it wasn't anything to do with bananas. You pointed out that there's an alley for Dominik Mysterio to win the U.S. title or get in a U.S. title feud. And I was like, they're not that dumb. And then I thought to myself, of course they are.
They are that dumb.
The good news about that is maybe he drops this title to move up into that like rather quickly. But that means he's like a contender for the U.S. title, which makes me want to jump off the bridge.
Listen, after last week's ratings, which I can't justify, all I can say is that, honestly, mostly this includes us, but mostly dumb people watch NXT.
That is correct. We are dumb.
So they just added more dumb people to watching NXT.
Well, it's also consistent. Can we also not say it's just Dominik because it's the rest of Judgment Day showing up?
Well, no,
when Seth Rollins came down, this happened too. When they send a main roster person down,
they send main roster people down there. But the people the kind of people they can spare for extended long runs in NXT is somebody like Dominik, who needs the in-ring work and could probably stand to just like live in Orlando and go to the PC every day and not drop dudes on their neck. So it does feel to me like he's sticking around for a while because they like the bump that the ratings have provided. If those ratings go back to normal, then they won't need him down there anymore, and they'll just figure it out from there. But Mr. Fowler, now, like he had like him coming to NXT was a huge deal. People were really excited about it. Him getting into this feud with Wesley and Tyler Bate, what people considered to be the #1 North American champion of all time, considering how many title defenses he had. And also Tyler Bate, one of the most gifted young wrestlers the WWE has in their employ. That there was a program right there for Mustafa Ali and those two gentlemen. And he was doing something interesting where you didn't really know where he was coming from, and the other shoe was going to drop in this feud and make him, regardless of where everything shook out, a really important figure in NXT going forward. And now that's all gone. He's the third wheel in a triple threat match featuring Dominik, Mysterio at the play. But the promo, the only thing of note is talking about Dominik is that he tells the truth that Dominik's other daddy, his biological father, was the one who gave him the frog splash, the one he's bastardized, as well as the bastardized 619 that he stole from his adopted father. But he lets slip that he blames Wesley for losing. But mostly what he does, he blames him for taking the match. He's like, you took the match versus Dominik when I was the one next in line. I didn't get to say so. I tried to talk you out of it. Look what happened. Exactly what happened. What I said happened. And so that's what we got. We got this now. So he and Wesley have words because Wesley doesn't like that Mustafa Ali's blaming him. But Mustafa Ali is right, as he is about so many things.
All the time about everything. All this guy has ever done is be great at his job. Mm-hmm. And he's doing this.
And anyway, so they come to blows as Dominik and Rhea Ripley just slink out of the ring because ha, we're trolling you.
I'm Rhea Ripley, and I fight matches on NXT, but not on the main roster for some reason, but we'll get into that.
Yep.
But not for a title defense, even though I'm obviously going to win. Like, what the are we doing?
They make the match later in the night for the triple threat. Mustafa Ali, did he have a match 3 weeks ago? Because he didn't have one last week, and I don't think he had one 2 weeks ago. It's been a long time since they've actually given him anything to do. So like he's just there.
Well, yeah, because this wasn't a built-out angle. Dominik was just thrown into it to ruin everything.
Yeah.
This was on like a logical track, and so now it's gotten completely derailed because they've shoehorned this nonsense into this.
So
let's talk about cheese.
Let's talk about cheese. We got lots of cheese puns, so thank you guys for the cheese puns.
Thanks for the cheese.
These are good. These are a lot of really good ones.
Do we have to give the Ceases a commission? Because this was really because of them.
Yeah, we probably should do. Meat Enormous says, Lucci's brothers versus the Gouda brothers versus Cheddar Jack Perry and Lucci's Saurus. That is a hell of a triple threat.
That is a hell of a triple threat.
Also, my Orioles are still in first, and Snyder is gone. Good time for meat.
It is a good day for meat.
Jeeves says, "The Ring General Gouda."
That's very good. We're going to talk about it later, but
Yeah.
When I heard Tiffany Stratton speaking today, I was like, I'm really good at my impression of her.
Yes, you are. You're fantastic at it. Yeah.
Thank you.
Mr. Showtime, you're way better than Kevin Patrick's impression he's going to pull out next week.
Don't get me started.
Monster Showtime says Hunter Hurst Havarti, the HHH.
The HHH. That's a deep cut of cheese.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Again. Insert clever Tegan Knox pun says Havarti Knox.
Very good. Same cheese too.
Yeah.
Same house.
Yeah. Good. It's a decent cheese. Insert clever Tegan Knox pun also says Tegan Knoxcho cheese dip.
A stretch, but you put your own.
Did you lose me or did I lose you?
Oh, I had you.
Okay, good. I lost you for a second.
Oh, I feel like you lost me a long time ago with the show.
What's that song? I nearly lost you.
We do those at the end.
Oh, sorry. Chris Pereira says Sting cheese. It's Sting cheese.
The American cheese nightmare.
It's good. It's good.
Thank you.
Jeremy Pringle says CM Provolone.
Nice.
Darby Asiago.
Asiago.
Darby Allen, I'll give you. I don't know how you can. I can't turn Allen into Asiago correctly.
Asiago Open though. Asio Open. There's something there. I'll find.
No. Asiago. Oi. Asiago. Oi. The Gorgonzola of Rock and Rolla. Chris Jericho. That's really good.
That's the most.
That's
like
Chris
Jericho
That's very good. That's the most Jericho has ever popped me. Is the Gorgonzola of Rock and Rolla. I'm gonna call him that tomorrow.
Oh yeah.
On the show tomorrow. I'm gonna call him that.
You can be like, his gimmick is very cheesy.
Yes, it is. He is the Gorgonzola of Rock and Roll.
Everybody freeze! We have 69 likes. So 100 more of you had to like it or 0. There's no in between.
Yeah. Mr. Showtime says Colby Jack. Not Cactus Jack, it's Colby Jack.
I like it. Okay.
Ronald Hollick says Noam Cheddar.
We don't deserve that, man.
Electric Mayhem says the Havarti boys. We got a lot of Havarti here. This is good stuff. Chris Pereira says Monterey Jack Fromage. MJF.
Nice. Very well done.
Henry the Casey says Curds Angle. Also, I don't know where it is. Where is it? Is it in here? Did somebody send it in here? If we're going to do Curds Angle, we got to do...
Could you just do Puff? Like the wrestler Puff?
Well, I don't think anybody actually super chatted it, but somebody said it in the chat. And I'm going to go ahead. Curds Angle and Way Mysterio.
Booyaka! Way Mysterio.
Ricardo L. Notorio says Drew Mac and Cheese.
Oh, I like that one.
Oh, and then he's got a jukebox here at the end, which is going to be a lot of fun. So move that up there to there, Luis. Chris Pereira says Romano Reigns.
Oh, that's very good.
Darren Lloyd says Sky Blue Cheese. Lieutenant Photo says Perfect 10 Parmesan Spears.
Very good.
Tom Lavelli says Cotija, Lariat. Alpha Bill says, okay, I'm really trying here. Ian Bocconcini.
I've heard his name pronounced worse, to be honest.
Rika Bocconcini.
I'm in.
Ricardo also says Bill DeMozzarella.
Okay, he sucks, but that's a great pun.
It's a great pun, though.
It is a great pun.
Lieutenant Photo says Macho Manchango. Randy Savage.
Oh, yeah.
Drew Nicholas says, I'm fatter than you, and you know it. Alpha Bill says, I'm not even trying. Parmigiano Vinci. Hey, it's me, Parmigiano Vinci. That's good. Yeah.
That's really good.
Dungeon Master of Puppets, who's a 3-month member of the Fight for Chinese, says Gruyere Davenport. That's good. I like the ones that rhyme.
I do too.
I like the alliteration. I do, but the ones that rhyme always pop me a lot.
Sure.
This is good. Papa Picasso says Pepper Jack Perry.
That's very good.
Michael Dammit says Wheeler Gouda.
That's really, really good.
And it rhymes, so it makes me happy. Mr. Showterm says cheeseburger with cheese.
Oh, my dude. I love cheese.
Steve-O, MCC, says Brother Way and Mark Wensleydale, Private Havarti.
Very good. A lot of Havarti.
Yeah. Drew, well, it's a good, it rhymes with a lot of good stuff. You know what I mean?
It does.
And
how about
Drew Oakley?
Sargento Slaughter.
Ooh, a brand of cheese.
I went brand.
That's good. That's good. Okay. Instead of send hook, it's send Tillamook. No,
I saw someone say, Luis just said ricotta bomb. That's really good.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw someone just say Brie Bella before, which I liked.
Oh, of course. Brie Bella. Very obvious. Very good. Very good. Doesn't mean bad. But no one else has said it. So that's good. We got another Havarti boys here from Lieutenant Photo. Drew Oakley says Degeneration Extra Cheese.
Very nice. That's the part of the generation I'm a part of.
Mm-hmm. Alpha Bill says, okay, a little bit more effort. Ricotta Boogs.
I'll take it.
Yeah. Mr. Showtime says, Charcuterie Boy. Not Shark Boy, Charcuterie Boy.
Oh, okay, very good.
And Chris says Monterey Jack Perry.
Very good.
Darren Lloyd says the Gouda Father.
I was gonna say the Gouda Brothers.
We got, and Vicky says Sting, Steve Borden, singles. Borden's the name of a cheese. It's in the Midwest. I don't know if it actually exists everywhere, but Borden is another brand of cheese. Okay. Tama Valley says Red Velveeta.
Very nice. Hey, you know what Brock Lesnar or what Braun Strowman is?
What?
A monster among cheese. Like Munster.
That's good.
Thank you.
Ronald Hollick has your Sargento Slaughter here. That's good. That's good. Straight cash. Kazuchika Ricotta is excellent. It's excellent.
Instead of like the coin dropping, it's just cheese.
Kim Gray says, "Hey friends, I'm sick. Make me laugh." Well, Kim, I mean, Aubrey Edwards.
I mean, if Aubrey Edwards is
Edwards. Meet Norma says the American Cheese Mayor, Colby Rhodes.
Someone's got to do his theme with cheese somehow. I'm trying to think of it.
Yeah.
Parmesan Moxley.
That's good. Jeeve says it's string cheese. So that's good.
It's not sports entertainment. It's provolone wrestling.
Yeah. That's good. Listen, because Allie was the reason for these puns, I'm giving her a freebie that I saw earlier.
Okay.
The provolone wolf. Baron Corbin. I saw that a long time ago. That was really excellent. Someone
said like the Baby Bell, but Bailey Bell, and I would say the Adam Cole.
Yes.
Baby.
Yeah. Chris Pereira says Edam Cole Baby. baby bells are made by Edam. Chris Pereira says blue cheese bomb.
Very nice.
Mr. Showtime says bandito with a side of queso. I think I'm out. It's okay. It's good.
I think you tapped out too.
And Mr. Showtime says Tiffany Stilton. I'm back, baby. All right. That's good.
Thank you for your cheese puns.
Keep sending in the cheese puns, everybody. Appreciate it. Paul Elizabeth says, "A happy Tuesday to the best review team, best audience, best moderator, and the worst content to review. Plus,
he doesn't even watch it. He knows.
No, but he knows.
I got a text that just said Parmesan raw sap, which is really, really good.
Yeah, that's good. That's
really hey, good. Speaking of my parents, I have to shout my mom out for something because she did something really cool. Yeah. Mm-hmm. She started a food pantry in her neighborhood, like not that long ago, and they collected over 1,000 pounds of food. 1,004 holds, I would even say. Wow. 1,004 pounds of food just from like their neighborhood.
Were several pounds of food just called armbar?
They were not.
No, okay.
But I'm so excited for her.
Mm-hmm.
Here it is. Hold on, I just saw the text. Yeah, 10 months, 1,004 pounds, half a ton. That's crazy. And just like a little giving pantry they've donated. My parents are cool. We can go back to talk about wrestling and cheese now.
Yeah. Jared sent this in last week, and I just missed it at the end of the show because I was so done with that show. But it applies this week. So thank you, Jared, for your patience. Something that struck me. The crowd chanting "Dom's not ready" instead of something like "You suck." Somehow that's worse.
Oh, it's so much worse.
Like they're extending grace to Dominik instead of actual heat. Like, you're not ready. Please, like it's you're
underprepared for this moment.
Yeah. It's not your fault. It's not your fault.
Not proper training.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, that's a really, really good point because like the crowds will say that Bryan Danielson sucks. You know what I mean? Like if it's a proper heel thing, but saying like you're not ready. Whew.
Listen, I'm putting this on the screen simply because of the "Per My Wife" from Jason Smith. Per my wife, Nacho Cheese Man, Randy Savage. Anytime you can do a per something like per my wife, who's over there across the room, Nacho Cheese. That's very good.
I had a lot of per my last emails today. So
yeah. So Ryan Sakini said they want Dragon Lee to win the North American title. If true, they're keeping him far away from it for the time being. So because he's involved in the Heritage Cup cloning deal that they're doing. So
which is like I actually like him for that. I've kind of liked more or less what they've done with the Heritage Cup so far. I have some complaints, but like overall it's been good, I would say. I would rather. I tweeted this joke of a poll a long time ago. Like, who would you rather see win the NWA championship? Tyrus, Bob O'Neill, or Shu? Shu won in a landslide.
Right. Like with those options, those options.
Yeah, and Bob was second, and Tyrus was a distant third. Right. I think I would like to see, Shu's time at NWA is probably up. We haven't heard a lot about Shu in NWA. I don't know if his contract expired. Yeah. But if Shu's coming into NXT, I would like to see Shu beat Dominik Mysterio for the title.
That'd be nice. That'd be good. Jeremy Lambert tweeted out something like that yesterday or the day before. He got an email from a local concert venue with here are these people who were coming, like Kid Rock, Nickelback, Jason Aldean, and a couple others. Said, of these, which one would you go see? Like Nickelback 100 times out of 100. If those are the only options, like Nickelback, far and away, Nickelback, if those are the only options.
Yeah, I was like, that's rough.
Yeah.
Because it's like not even close how much it was Nickelback. Because one of them was Hardy.
Luis has taken my terrible fantasy booking and stretched it to its full breaking point. He says the scenario from hell is that not only does Dom remain NXT North American champion, but then he beats his dad, for the United States title and then unifies them.
I think even they're not that dumb, which says something because they're pretty dumb. But I think they know they need a mid-card title in NXT.
Yeah. Tony, what people are saying also, this is what should this is the end of Mustafa Ali. Like, he does this match, he loses, and he just rides off into the sunset. Fightful, per their resources, his contract ends in mid-2024, so he can't just ride off into the sunset at this point. So
I mean, they've benched people for longer, but like that's not the impetus behind him not winning here. It's just horseshit booking.
Tony D and Stacks have a little backstage interview when they get walked up on by Bronco and Lucian. Bronco Lucian, I'm going to call them that. So there you go. And they say, Tony says, I need to knock some prison rust off. So why don't we have a match later, which is made. They made that match. So there you go. And then Lyra has a backstage interview.
She does.
She walked up to Rhea on Raw Talk, whatever the hell they call that thing. And says, I want to prove to you that I am the badass that you said I was. So I'd like to have a match with you tomorrow on NXT. And Rhea says, well, you better bring your A game. And then she says, on her little interview today, she says, I've been watching her since she was in NXT UK. This is an honor to be in the ring with her. I'm going to prove that I belong, blah, blah, blah. So there you go.
Why wasn't it a title match? We knew Rhea was going to win anyway.
I don't know.
Because she never defends on the main roster? Because
she doesn't defend the title. So that's the thing. If it was a title match, she would have attacked Lyra before the bell. So, Carmelo, Trick, and Ilja Dragunov had their 6-man. Wouldn't you know it? There were some wires got crossed. Wouldn't you? They were unable to fully coexist. I know that's a shock to everybody listening here, but they were able to defeat the schism, but they were not without their problems, because Ilja Dragunov got out of the ring and did the Braun Strowman choo-choo, but he just dove headfirst near Joe Gacy, who didn't really even have to move. If he had just stayed where he was and not taken a step to the side, Ilja Dragunov still would not have hit him. But Ilja Dragunov hit Trick Williams instead, who fell back into the ring steps. And he was out for the rest of the match. It wasn't that much longer, but Carmelo tagged himself in so he could hit his final maneuver on Joe Gacy to get the pin. There was Trick had to be held back by Carmelo from attacking Ilja Dragunov, and later he wants a piece of him, and Carmelo's like, no, I'm not exactly sure why I don't want you to fight Ilja Dragunov, other than something is telling me I'm a good guy now, and good guys don't let their stooges fight their battles for them. It's funny because like a couple of months ago, I totally would have let you do this, and now for no reason, I think that's a bad idea. Anyway, I'm going to go try and work things out with Ilja Dragunov. So he goes and talks to Ilja Dragunov, who by this point has showered and is in his street clothes about to leave. And he says, my boy Trick Williams, he's looking for you. He's going to come down to the ring at the end of the show. He's going to call you out. And Ilja Dragunov says, that's great. I'm very happy he will be calling me out, because then I will go to the ring and I will beat him up. And then on Saturday or Sunday, whenever it is this weekend, I will beat you up and take your NXT title. And that's it. So that's what happened. I'll talk about the actual closing segment when we get to it. But anything to add?
Look, I don't mean to sound smarky, But if I had a title match against someone in a week, I would simply not choose to take a 6-man with them the week before.
I mean, yeah, I'm kind of on your side.
Yeah, I'm not saying that I'm like better than everybody else for that, but I am because there was no point for this match. And I also will say, like, the schism isn't my favorite thing, and it's definitely not your favorite thing. But like, I don't know, they're pretty prominently featured on the program, so them losing to a team that can't even get on the same page feels pretty stupid.
Right. Listen, I'm on your side generally, but if the singles people who are not on the same page is your top champion and his top challenger, and they've got a match on the pay-per-view this weekend, and the other team, the team that's supposed to work together, has a win-loss record resoundingly in the red, I'm fine with it. Like a year ago or whatever, they did this thing where, like, it was a year ago, where Drew McIntyre and Sheamus were in Money in the Bank. But if they lost to the Usos on SmackDown, who were currently the tag champions in a non-title match, they would be out of Money in the Bank. But they beat the Usos, the tag team champions, the unbeatable tag team champions. Neither guy had a title. So you were protecting these two single stars who were like, at that point, Drew wasn't even headed into Clash at the Castle. They were just these guys. So you had the Usos get pinned in a match that wasn't necessary because they were already in Money in the Bank, and then you booked them in a match where if they lost, they would be out. They didn't have to win the match to stay.
But this is why you shouldn't do the match, because like when the one team can't even get along, I'm like, are you professional wrestlers then still? Like, because you look real dumb if you can't even beat a team that doesn't like each other, and one of the guys leaves. You look real bad.
Yeah. I missed this part.
What's going on with my white girl light? Why is my apartment and my life falling apart? There we go.
I did not see the dem masked loaves taking out the dyad. I missed that. Were the dyad taken out of this match by masked loaves?
Were they? It would make sense, but I didn't see it. I mean, they have to set that up going into
Gacy was
Great American
climbing the top rope. I missed that entirely. Listen. All right. It looks like Freebooters are under the mask. Okay, well, then I missed it. I have to go back and watch it.
It's probably because their masks are so good.
All right.
It's probably because they have such brilliant disguises
I missed it entirely. It's my fault. I think I was probably writing something about the ridiculous. Oh no, Joe Gacy, please, you should not. Don't stand there, because if you stand there, you are in no danger of being hit by a running torpedo.
Oh, okay. Much like Celine Dion, it is all coming back to me. Oh no. Where did Alex go? Did he quit the show? I'm just going to have to read through more cheese puns, I guess. The top one. Oh, there you are.
This happens now. StreamYard kicks me out of stuff. It just does. Every now and then it'll kick me out, and I can't do it. Bad Dude Cheeto?
Like Bad Dude Tito.
Oh, good. That's good.
Get up on your New Japan, bro. Enjoy good wrestling sometimes.
Can't. I don't have to. This is the thing. I don't have time for good wrestling. I don't get paid to watch it. So
G1 season.
I don't get paid to watch it.
Get up on your TMDK, mate.
There's
so many cool Brit Aussie stables with cool hand things.
There was a Tiffany vignette, which I'll let you talk about.
Yes, there was. Thea Hale has a lot of energy. Also, I didn't tap out. I lightly grazed the mat. Mm-hmm. And we're gonna fight about it. And while she is young and full of spunk, She's no match for the champion, Tiffany Stratton. That's me. Back to my boyfriend, Ludwig Kaiser.
Tiffany, you are going to beat Thea Hale this weekend.
With the cattle tutelation.
With the cattle tutelation, yes, that is her. She says, that wasn't very nice. Was that something that a good person would do? Forcing me to accept a submission match? I don't think so. Oh my god,
she's pretty great, man. Like this was also kind of nice because in this vignette she was a little bit more. I mean, she's still our Tiffy, but she was like a little bit more down to earth. And it was just nice that she kind of sounded like a human being.
Yes. So I will talk about this now because neither of these women were on the show tonight. But Thea Hale had a pre-taped little package with her and Andre Chase and Duke talking her up before her match. So look, I would be totally fine with this program happening 4 months into Tiffany Stratton's reign. But like her first title defense versus Thea Hale, she did a visual tap out. She lost the match.
Yes.
That's not a great way to start off a reign. I don't care who you are. That's a bad way to book if you want to book somebody to be a strong champion, which you should be doing with Tiffany Stratton. The point should be people chasing her like she's actually really good because she is really good. She shouldn't be a chicken shit. Like once she shouldn't want the match because she has a hair appointment that day. But once she's in the match, she should actually be really good enough to beat you.
That is correct.
4 months into her reign, having beaten several good challengers, Thea Hale shows up and she immediately underestimates her because Tiffany Stratton is bulletproof. Nobody can beat Tiffany Stratton, and this is the program that happens to like make Tiffany slightly doubt herself, have to change her game plan, all of that stuff, which then after getting past Thea Hale reignites her reign and lets her run for another 6 months. That's how you book a title reign. You don't do this first, especially because not only did she win that match after visually tapping out and losing, she won it via a roll-up. And in this match, she's going to have to win it via a submission move. Like, that is not who we've seen her be in her time in NXT. She's won some matches by submission, but mostly it's her prettiest moonsault ever thing, which is a great move, and she'd be winning with. Like, it just feels like this is too early to do this type of program with Tiffany Stratton, because it feels like you're booking everything out of order. But I think Thea Hale's very good, and I think that Thea Hale and Tiffany Stratton will have a very good match this Sunday. But I also feel like if this was 4 months into her reign, there would be a doubt in my mind as to whether or not Thea Hale might pull the crazy upset. Because at this point in Tiffany's reign, I don't think there's a chance that's going to happen. So there's a lot of reasons why you don't do this kind of program right away.
Yeah, I don't like Tiffany being cowardly. Like that feels off base. I do like Thea Hale being overly like Mighty Mouse about it. Like that part I like of just like I like that they're protecting that finisher. I dig that. But I do feel like I think part of it is because we've so sincerely seen her improve so much in the past year. I'm like, let's not like cheapen that. But it's the placement in the reign. It's the type of heel that Tiffany is that doesn't like click in for me. I don't like finishes like that, even when it's the right characters at the right time, just because I prefer referees be competent and you do a better job at telling a story that is less lazy than that. So it's not going to be for me under the right circumstances, but these are the wrong circumstances for it. Match will be really good. they're doing a decent job with what they committed to as well. Like, I think Tiffany's saying that her hand lightly grazed the mat was pretty cute. Sure, I think Deja's doing a really good job on her side of things. So well executed in that regard. And I also don't know, like, with the way they've destroyed Roxanne, unless Wendy Chu's coming back at some point, like, what other face do you really have right now that's not wrapped up in something else? I feel like Gigi Dolan's probably like a next on deck candidate for this if she's not feuding with Kiana James for the next 6 months of her life. But like, what other faces do you line up for her right now?
I don't know. That's a tough one.
They don't know either. Is the problem?
She already did Lyra.
She did
to win the title. Roxanne apparently
didn't they run it back
barred
even
from title matches. So,
well, no, she's too busy having to look weak and pathetic, and then when she gets her big revenge, throw people into empty cardboard boxes. So,
this is probably it. Yeah, it's probably it. So that's great. What a great run you're going to give Tiffany Stratton as champion. I will say, little things like this, what I'm about to bring up, really make me angry, and I wish it wasn't possible. I actually had to ask our friend Henry the Casey, who says he likes watching NXT because it's the kind of show where you can just turn your brain off and just watch stupid stuff, and it's fine. I'm like, and I said, in all seriousness, I am asking you this question seriously. What is it like to be able to do that?
Yeah, you can't.
I can't do it. So when this is something that will blow past almost everybody watching this segment, but for me, it made me literally frothing mad angry for like 5 minutes, and I can't stop it. I can't stop this about myself. In the same 15 seconds, Andre Chase said, "Thea Hale is a prodigy. She started training at 16 years old. We've been recruiting her to come to Chase University since she started training 3 years ago at 16 years old. This is the girl who was too young to drive herself to indie shows, so her parents had to drive her." Which is it? Because you did those in that order. Was she wanting to go to indie shows when she was 12 and her parents had to drive her then? Because if she was 16 and training to be a wrestler at 16, she was not too young to drive herself to indie shows because she was 16. She may not have had her license yet, but that's not the same thing you said. These are scripts that are written by people with brains. Find contradictions and get rid of them so they don't make people with crazy OCD lose their minds about shit. Because this is not fair to me. Not fair to me personally.
But it's kind of fun for everyone else.
No, it's not. Please don't laugh at my pain. It is. It physically hurts me when I find things like this. It's like, no, just have it. How is this possible? Also, thank you. Another thing. I was so angry about the turn of phrasing used by Andre Chase that I forgot this. This university is only 2 years old. How are you recruiting her 3 years ago? This university did not exist then.
Well, because it was launching.
You were Harlem Bravado when you were recruiting her to a university you did not yet have. Ooh.
They knew they were going to open.
They were getting all their funding together.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I wish I could do it. I wish I could not.
I mean, the thing is, you're not wrong. It's just, I feel like people like Henry the Casey are able to turn their brains off.
Yeah.
And then there's you who can't turn your brain off. And then there's me who has my brain on, but it's just so bad that it doesn't keep my attention. So it's not like I'm actively like, what a nice, chill viewing experience, because I don't care.
Luis also reminding us at the ridiculous age that some other wrestlers made their debuts. Not started training, but made their debuts. So it's not a competition, but if you're going to be like, she's a prodigy, she started training at 16. I mean, Pete Dunne made his debut at 14. So, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just whatever.
Yeah, but, like, let's not be like, oh.
So here's something. Braun Breaker is ready for the main roster. He's been ready for the main roster for I don't know how long. He had a feud with Dragunov that ended in a fantastic match for the number one contendership, but didn't even get a blow off of it at the Pape. Like, he just did it on a random Tuesday. And I was like, oh, that must mean they're prepping him for a major debut on the Raw after SummerSlam. I mean, otherwise, why would you do this now? It doesn't make any sense to do this now like this. So obviously, Braun Breaker is ready to move on and upward to bigger and better things. Nope. Because Von Wagner, babyface Von Wagner, beat Javier Bernal in one move, and then Braun Breaker ran out of nowhere to spear him in half at ringside. And fucking what? What you're doing with Braun Breaker is a feud with babyface Von Wagner?
I knew that I wasn't gonna be able to fix my face for this segment, so I'm just hiding it. Like, Von Wagner is fetch, right? They're just trying to make fetch happen. And it's not working. And this is probably the best he's ever looked. And it was because we only had to see him do one move, and then he got speared by Braun Breaker. If this was going to be Braun Breaker just spears him and he died, like R.I.P. Von Wagner. If it was like a 2-move match, I'd be like, let's do it because I want to see it. But it's not. They're going to make it seem like Von Wagner can do anything but a shoulder block and yeeting people. But he can't do anything but a shoulder block and yeeting people.
Yeah.
And in 3 months from now, Von Wagner is going to be more highly positioned on the card than Mustafa Ali, and that makes you want to jump out a window. And that is why everybody's looking at my pineapple hair instead of my face.
Mm-hmm.
You can see my roots.
I like the scrunchie, though. It's a nice scrunchie.
Thank you.
Ryan Sakini says, are we setting up Robert Stone as Braun's new manager? Be the first winner that Robert Stone's ever managed.
No, I feel like he's so entrenched in this Von Wagner stuff.
I feel like Robert Stone would actually be a really good manager if you gave him good clients to manage. Like, he's the perfect kind of slimy, smarmy dude with the slick back hair and the jewelry and the 3-day growth of beard. Like, he's he's an old school wrestling manager. He doesn't have to like take bumps or anything, but the thing of it is that that's a great dude to like give to, I don't know, Oba Femi or something. You know what I mean? Like, you don't need to give him, because I think Braun has actually rounded himself into a pretty decent talker. Because he can do both things. He doesn't have to just bark into the microphone. He can bring it down a notch and just give you a real promo. So I don't think he needs a manager at this point. But
no, I really don't think Braun needs anything but to go to the main roster. I don't think Robert Stone's that good. And I know he has managed literally only losers. But like, there was a headline from Fightful where he said Triple H once kind of said, I'm a modern day Bobby the Brain Heenan. That is false, because he has never really done anything that's made me care about his clients. Mm-hmm. I feel like he's one of those managers that I generally don't like, because it feels way more about him than his clients. Mm-hmm. Like, I like a Gary Hart. You know what I mean? Like, that's my shit, is like Gary Hart. That's why I like Stokely so much. Like, it always feels... That's why I like Prince Nana so much. Like, it's always about their clients and not really about them. And I feel like Robert Stone takes up a lot of oxygen, which is not for me. But also, who's to say what that guy's capable of? Because he has been paired with literally losers and bad storylines the entire time he's been in NXT.
Yeah. So... Luis pointing it out that from fantastic matches between Ilja and Seth Rollins, one of the highest rated matches in the history in NXT in years, now he's going to do the honors for Von Wagner, because you don't spend all this time setting up Von Wagner as a babyface to then have him lose a feud. So I mean, they might, because see, you don't. When I say you don't, I'm saying smart bookers wouldn't spend all of that time. I'm not saying specifically Von Wagner. I'm saying you spent all of this time transitioning a dude. You invested months and months and months of programming to transition this dude from heel nobody cared about to babyface with a personal history sob story that everyone goes like, okay, like honestly, yeah, I can connect to this guy because this is a real thing that happened to him.
Except for me, who said his circumstances weren't tragic enough.
But
I might be a bad person.
You might be. It's possible. I may have rubbed off on you enough at this point that you are a bad person now. But you don't do all of that to then put him in his first major feud as a babyface and then have him lose it.
But this is like my point with the 6-man, though. Like, why are you? Unless this is how Braun goes up, he goes out on his back to Von Wagner.
I mean, good Lord.
Woof. But like, there's some matches that you don't do because of stuff like this. Like, this happens in AEW a lot, actually, I feel like. But it's just tricky there because they get so conscious of protecting everyone sometimes that they run themselves into these issues. Like, there's some matches that you don't do, like a 6-man where it's so blatantly obvious and it makes the schism look bad. Or your top heel who's primed and ready for the main roster against a babyface who has literally never proven that he could do anything. Like, there's just matches that you don't do because nobody comes out for the better for it, or at least one guy doesn't come out for the better for it. And in wrestling, when you're doing things great, which is very difficult and rare, both the winner and the loser win somehow. So stop creating the opposite. Like, you get to book anything you want. Like, why are you creating the opposite scenario where now Von Wagner looks like an idiot and a waste of weeks of potential, or Braun Breaker, your top heel on the roster who has looked vicious and menacing, now looks like he
I don't understand
beat
why
this punk ass dude. Like,
what his concern is with Von Wagner.
He hates people that had brain surgery.
Possibly. That could be it. Also,
I'm meaner than evil and eviler than brain surgery.
People pointing out in the chat, and as well as Luis, Von Wagner is a main roster member currently.
Well, he's a free agent.
He's a free agent, but he was drafted to the main roster. He was not a free agent for NXT. He's a free agent for Raw or SmackDown, because otherwise you wouldn't have drafted him. This is dumb.
You think Von Wagner goes out on his back to Braun Breaker?
No, I don't. I don't. Listen, of all the bad things we can say about Dominik, there is one thing that I don't think we can say about him, which I'm not going to say out loud. But that thing that we can't say about Dom, at least to my knowledge, you can say about the next person we're going to talk about, Gable Steveson, which I won't say. But you could Google the thing I won't say about Gable Steveson. He came out and, man, this dude is just a void of charisma, isn't he? Just a blank
Alex?
Nothing. Just a blank nothing.
This week, I found out what the Riz was. I had no idea what the hell people were talking about. And I was not brave enough to ask online, but Righteous Reg was brave enough to ask online. He was like, what the hell are you saying when you say the Riz? It means charisma. Yeah. I didn't know that. I was behind the 8 ball on the Riz. I would say Gable Steveson certainly lacks the Riz.
He lacks any semblance of the Riz.
No, he's like not even Rizzo from Greece. He's so far away from being the Riz.
No, he is not Reich the Riz Rizanen. He is as far away from that as possible.
He's not like Nobody Beats the Riz.
No.
He's not Rizzo from the Muppets either.
Nope.
He's very far away from having
the
Riz.
Yeah. He
boy, do I not care about this guy who can't deliver a promo but can do a suplex.
He's just.
Alex went away again. Or did he? Am I Alex? I miss scripts, guys. Remember when scripts would come in and make everything better? That's what used to happen when Alex would disappear.
No, what's up? What? Not this camera. This camera. Good God.
Oh my God, Kevin Dunn is running your cameras. Why is Kevin Dunn in your computer room? Oh my God. It's the finish of the show, people. Kevin
Dunn. So he says that he could go back to Minnesota. I don't believe this guy has another year of eligibility. That's weird that he does. That's weird that he has an extra year of eligibility at this point to go back to Minnesota. But
I just feel like it's a bad sign when people are like, I'm going to make my decision on my NXT future. And I'm like, I hope the option is that you go away. Yeah. That's not good.
Yeah. He goes to, or he could go to the Olympics and win another gold medal in 2024, which honestly, just straight up, like, just as a shoot, why would you not attempt to be the only American to win overall gold in wrestling 2 Olympics in a row when that's a possibility? Why would you do that for an NXT contract?
Which is like $12?
That's fucking dumb.
But
like, you should definitely do the thing that all, like, just on a personal level, as a person, you would choose that over this. And also from me as a person, I would choose that for you because it means that I would not have to watch you on television anymore.
You know why he's not doing it?
Why?
They added a new category in the Olympics, and that category is having Riz, and he doesn't have any.
Oh yeah,
you can't train for that.
They're not because wrestling now is being scored like figure skating, and one of the things you're scored on is the Riz.
It's the Riz. And
he's gonna get a big old fat 0 in the Riz.
It's gonna be like 0.5, 0.5. Oh. This is what his promos sound like.
Yep. Mr.
He would lose the Riz Olympics so far. Nowhere did
Gable went full Shatner, pausing every sentence.
He did, but he's not even on a spaceship in a different universe. So what's his excuse?
He gets interrupted by Baron Corbin, who tells him exactly what I'm telling him, which is go win another NCAA title. Go win another gold medal because you shouldn't be here. Baron Corbin, who's come back from visiting Baron Corbin, is
taller Baron Corbin.
He spent the week with Baron Corbin. Baron Corbin caught up. It's been a while. It's been a while since Baron got a chance to hang out with Baron.
I know. Last time they were hanging out, they were the same height, and now this guy's grown 3 inches taller than him.
Like you've gotten so big now. What are you, like 15, 16? Look at you, Baron just hanging out. And anyway, he came back from that to start a little program with Gable Steveson, where Gable Steveson is going to beat Baron Corbin in Gable Stevenson's first match in Texas. A place where if they were to know anything about Gable Stevenson's past, they would probably not care. So
that is, I'm not going to speak on behalf of all of Texans, but it's not a great situation.
I mean, I'm going to say over half, just because of how
just majority
shake out over there. Yes,
that's fair.
Yes, true.
Yeah. It's not good when I'm like, the heel is correct.
Yeah,
but this was like a pretty good promo from Baron Corbin.
I mean, fine, but like it
I don't like what it's setting up, but like I've actually, for the most part, other than like the weird, gym shorts phase that we went through, like I've kind of dug this Baron Corbin resurgence. Like his promos have made sense. The vignettes were pretty good. He met himself, which was cheesy, but I was right about it. So
you were right about it, and that I will say yes.
So that's for me. If I'm right,
for you, no, on a personal level, for sure. What I would say is that I kind of wanted whatever this 2-week vignette thing was
to pay off.
To pay off, and it has not. unless another Baron Corbin interferes on Baron Corbin's behalf. Can we get a dude 3 inches taller than Baron Corbin in a Baron Corbin Mission Impossible mask to come out of the
Alex, you don't even have to be that well disguised. The Creeds are walking around with yellow paper plates over their face.
No, but I know, but I want it to look. I want at one point on actual television to second Baron Corbin, who's 3 inches taller than the first Baron Corbin, to pull off his hood, and it's Baron Corbin, but it's obviously wearing a really sophisticated rubber mask. That's what I want.
And they can do the Spider-Man thing.
And they can do the Spider-Man thing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay.
And then somehow Gable Steveson will suplex them both.
Yeah,
and we'll just hate it.
But Bizarro Baron Corbin wins the triple threat.
Yeah, somehow.
100%.
Triple threat. That's good.
Yeah.
Bizarro Corbin. Oh, sure. That works.
We'll find it.
Bizarro Corbin. Baron and Bizarro Corbin. Good? Yes?
Yeah, I'm in.
Okay, cool.
They have to be a tag team, though.
Baron and Bizarro. Speaking of things that make no sense, Dana Brooke wore a Party City Catwoman costume to the ring.
For what though, Alex? For what type of match?
for a kendo stick match.
What happened?
She had a little sequined cat mask, and there was a hole in the middle of the forehead. And I don't know why is that. Why do you have a hole in the middle? Is that like where your chakra is, like your third eye? So your third cat eye can see out through the middle of your forehead, so you
can get poked in the head with a kendo stick. What the hell is this Dana Brooke run, dude?
I don't know. Mr. Showtime says, who told Dana the cat mask was a good idea? Bad.
Isn't being a cat Natalia's thing anyway? Did she used to come out with the cat ears and the whatnot? And then she was like, I'm not a cat, I'm a boat.
That was definitely Natalia's thing. Did she hear it was a cat stick match?
I mean, she should get her hearing checked if that's the case.
What? Also, listen, you and I have had problems with the way her heel run has been presented, but I do think there's a lot of potential if you just help her develop her character in a way that's not the most obvious thing possible. There's a lot of potential in Cora Jade, especially moving forward at this young age. She's going to get better and better. Help her to develop something that is beyond I wear a hat with spikes on it and carry around a signature kendo stick. Like, help this girl find herself as this character, and then let her go and get better. Because this is bad. But what is worse is losing a kendo stick match to Dana Brooke. That's not good. Why are you booking
feline that Dana Brooke? Not even human Dana Brooke. Kitty cat Brooke. Is she curious like a cat? Is it her gymnastics background that makes her very cat-like? What the hell is she doing in a cat mask?
I don't know. There was nothing that led to this thing.
This is just bad. This whole feud is bad.
If it was a whip match, if that such a thing exists, then I could see dressing as Catwoman.
But even then, who are you? You just came back here, and then it legitimately all I could think about is the Nightman from It's Always Sunny.
Yeah.
When he was like, I'm not going, laughs are cheap, I'm going for gasps.
Yeah.
This whole feud has been really bad. And I think it's a shame because like you said, there's 2 young talents that are involved in this that are pretty good. I would say for me personally, this Cora Jade heel run has brought her in ring a step back. It feels like the face run with Raquel to me, where I'm like, man, whatever this character change is doing to their psyche when they're in the ring is affecting their in-ring ability, because it's not as great anymore. Cora Jade also just got back from injury, and we've seen her be great. And most of that was when she was like a plucky underdog, and she's had flares of it as a heel. But like, I don't doubt her ability. I doubt that what they're doing right now with her is working. And my God, how could it when this is what she's being given? This is bad. And on the NXT Sands of Blind that we did when they had their first thing, that was like the pits. Like, this whole thing has been doomed from the get-go. And then they were like, let's put some cat ears. Like how they say, like, put lipstick on a pig. They're like, let's put cat ears on a Dana.
Yeah. Albert Ponce says, I fear what awaits Pillman Jr. because what the heck happened to Cora? Yikes. I don't know. I mean, listen, I don't know. I think there's more upside to Cora Jade than to Dana Brooke at this point in their careers. We know what Dana Brooke is. It's this. She's not getting better. It's this. Cora Jade has a lot of room to improve. At least she has room to improve. Dana has been up against her ceiling for 5 years now.
But only
Cora has room to get better.
Like, at the same time, reps are important, and she was like the 24/7 title champion and not doing anything. Like, if you just go stale for 5 years, this is what happens. And they sent her, their trajectory with her was, let's send her back down to NXT to put some wind in her sails. Let's make the first thing we do have commentary tear her down and have her lose unceremoniously in a contendership match, and then be coaching someone and get taken out by an ambulance, but not real. Like, it is irrevocably bad. Like, to the point where I couldn't even say the word. Like, I'll put it this way. I think there's a lot of things that Dana Brooke needs to stay in a very specific wheelhouse on. And what they're doing with her right now doesn't complement any of it.
Right.
She's got one very specific lane that she can stick in, and she's good at it. And none of what they're doing is catering to that. In the same way that I think Ronda Rousey, though more brutal and extensive, has a very specific lane she has to stay in to be successful.
Yeah.
A kendo stick match with cat mask on, ain't it?
Yeah. Yeah. There was a segment
Would you
with
say it's cheesy?
I mean, I might say it's cheesy. Hold on. Would I say it's cheesy? Perhaps I might say it's cheesy. Hold on.
It's some members of the SGS say it's cheesy?
Yeah. Meet Norma says, my new favorite video game, Fight for Cheddar.
Fight for cheddar.
True Infamous says, wrapper of cheese, post provolone. Arja288 says, wrestling with raclette. Wrestling with raclette. Wrestling with regret. Do you know that one? Wrestling with regret.
Oh, okay. I got you.
True Infamous says, Brie Bella.
That's a good one.
Good.
I like the ones that are right there.
True Infamous says, the tribal cheese, Roman Reigns. Tribal cheese, Romano Reigns.
Acknowledge him.
And Dave Berman says, Harlemberger Heat. Meet Norma says, Denise Manchengo. And Jeremy Camembert. Cheesecast. And True Infamous also says, Cheesy Boy, Pepper Jack Perry.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going somewhere else with that. I thought it was like Cheesy Boy.
I'm not your Brie toy.
Brie toy.
True Infamous also says Sky Blue Cheese.
That's very good. I think we had that one, but it's a good one.
And True Infamous says Ricotta Che. And True Infamous says Santino Mozzarella.
Oh, very nice.
Thank you, True Infamous. Thank you, appreciate it.
Alexa Swiss.
Bree woo, Bree woo, Bree woo.
All right, that's enough. Shut it down.
It is funny though.
No more. We had our fun. You're all grounded. I want you to go right. I will not troll Kate with Jeff Jarrett stuff the same day the Judgment Day is taking over the entire world on a chalkboard. And I know it's a long sentence to have to write and repeat.
I gotcha.
You earned it.
Damon Kemp has joined Catchpoint. That is the overall thrust of this.
I kind of like it.
Sure.
I feel like it's a good next step for him.
Yeah, no, Gulak, because Damon Kemp can throw some suplexes. This is good. This is a good little mid-card heel faction that can expand. Sure.
I think it'll sincerely be good for Damon Kemp because we've seen him grow a lot too in his in-ring ability. I kind of like this combo because he has that kind of like athletic wrestler-y feel.
So the D'Angelo family has their match versus Bronco and Lucian.
Thunder Liger.
Bronco Lucian. And Bronco Lucian actually looks a lot better than they did the last time I watched them. So that's good.
Yes, they looked a lot better. That was their first match, so they might have had some nerves or whatever.
And whatever, yeah. But no, they looked a lot better at this point. That was decent. But Reggie was on commentary. Later, we got to hear a lot of Oro Mensah talking now, and they've decided he should have a Apollo Crews when he was the Nigerian prince accent, because he didn't have that before when he was just Oro Mensah. Now he's got that accent. They've decided him to do that. That was less of a change than what they've done with Reggie. Who's Reggie on commentary from the hood. Pick a hood, he's from it. You have to have been from the hood in order to address him as Scripps. Otherwise, you must only call him Reggie or Reginald. So saith Booker T.
Which is a pretty deep conclusion for someone who's never watched the product a day in his life. That's the only conclusion I can make when listening to Booker T on commentary. He just said things that aren't true about Dominik Mysterio, and not in the way that they like make shit up to make us believe that he's good at things. Like, just completely ignored things about his character. It was like, you're undercutting him by... One point he was like, you're undercutting him by saying he needs Rhea Ripley, and Vic Joseph was like, no, he says that. He says that himself about things. I don't know if this is supposed to be the new direction for him, or if Booker T's just, astoundingly bad at his job. But what was this? And my God, it should have been Jesse the Body Ventura all along. That's all I'll say.
They have decided that they want to make, because listen, I don't know exactly what Reggie's ceiling ever was, but like, obviously the guy's an incredible acrobat, right? Like, he worked with Cirque du Soleil.
Yeah.
He can talk a little. He has a very unorthodox style because it's so much of it is like, you want to talk about guys who do the flippy stuff. That's his entire thing. Like, most of it is just he flips in the direction of somebody and their bodies collide, and that's his offense. He doesn't even really do kicks or punches. It's just mostly cross bodies that he flips in order to do.
Right. It's as if you took someone from Cirque du Soleil and put them in a wrestling ring.
Right. So, but he started out as Reginald the Sommelier.
Yes, with Carmelo.
He spoke with a French accent. And then that was done, and he was just Reggie, but he spoke with like he was just Reggie. And then he married Dana Brooke for 5 seconds, and this is where he told us many times, well, he was 24/7 champion, that he was from the streets, but he didn't have him code switch to be from the streets. He was just Reggie, but he grew up in the streets of St. Louis, and I really like going to parks. Like, remember that time, like a long time on Raw, every time they would do something, they would do a pre-tape with him walking through a park and then like jumping over a jungle gym to get away from Akira Tozawa and R-Truth, who were chasing the 24/7 title. They did that for weeks and weeks and weeks. And then he came to NXT, and they decided they were going to try and pass him off as Scripps, the luchador. And everyone immediately knew when he showed up that he was Reggie. And they were like, I guess this mask thing isn't going to work anymore. Let's take the mask off of him.
I mean, we didn't know. We thought it was Jesse the Body Ventura.
Well, yes. We thought his voice was definitely Jesse the Body Ventura. And Jesse wanted to convince us, once he had actually debuted on screen, that he was also playing Scripps. But I have a hunch that Jesse may have been pulling our leg this whole time. That maybe that's a conspiracy theory that I have.
I was just going to say that sounds a lot to me like a conspiracy theory. But like, let's not gloss over the fact that he was using a voice modulator and speaking in poems, and he had cards that he came out with that looked like he was a game show host and would put them on the chest of his victims.
He did that. Yeah. Yes. Yes. And so now he hates Axiom because he offered to be Axiom's friend, and Axiom was like, listen, I don't want to be your tag partner. We're cool, but I want to be your tag partner. And what he says is that I grew up in the hood. I won't do the accent that he does because that wouldn't be good for me to do the accent. But he says, I grew up in the hood. And when somebody offers you food, you eat. So what he's saying is that he offered something. He offered an olive branch to Axiom, and Axiom rejected it. And because of that, he's going to try and ruin Axiom's life. And he's gotten Broncollution to help him with this plan to ruin Axiom. Axiom, of course, comes out and attacks Reggie Scripps, and chases him through the ring. Stacks gives him a helpful little push out of the ring to help him, and then Axiom hits him with a suicide dive, and then Broncollution loses to Stacks and Tony D. I think that's everything.
Imagine thinking you are going to ruin Axiom's life before creative does. Like, beat you to the punch there, pal.
Yeah.
How is this what you have for Axiom?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Like, he could be the North American champion instead.
Yeah. Ryan Cicchini says, Cicchini says, Reggie stinks, but Lucian has something. I'm gonna wait and before I start saying that's the guy, that's the breakout star of this tag team when they break up in a couple of weeks. But we'll see. We'll see. I've only seen a couple of matches. I don't even know if I would split them at this point between like one has something and one doesn't or whatever. I'll keep watching. But I think that they bring a little something to the table that is not present in the NXT tag division. So we'll see how this goes better.
And this feels much more authentic than their vignette. Like today felt better from like a presentation standpoint than some of those vignettes did.
Yeah.
So, which I heard people of color saying, which is a better indicator than White Girl from Upstate New York.
Yes.
But it does read much better than some of the vignettes.
Trent
so happy
Barada. Then there's a Gallus promo. Where they just say things in Scottish about how they're going to beat Tony D and Stacks on Sunday.
I wish there was some sort of example of what that sounded like.
I mean, mostly it was just like, standard boilerplate fare of, you guys don't stand a chance. Gallus boys on top, etc. It's mostly that. Wasn't really. No new ground was broken.
I know. I just mean like what that would sound like with the accent.
Oh, like phonetically, you'd want to know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A reenactment.
That'd be great if that happened. But anyway, so there was a brawl in a 7-Eleven, I guess. And this brawl that happened, it happened late at night when there was nobody else in the convenience store. And they beat each other up with Roxanne and Blair Davenport. And they beat the hell out of each other.
Was that so hard?
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Thank you.
I don't know where the hell that took place, but it was very funny that it was like one customer other than them in the place.
Okay.
It was.
Well, get me out of here.
There was a lot of beaten up people.
There was a lot of fighting not in a wrestling ring today.
Yeah. They're going to face it in a Weapons Wild match.
Can we just call things normal things? A Weapons Wild match?
I don't know, man. It's a hardcore match.
They just call it a hardcore match.
It's a Viking rules match, but without the Viking boat.
Here's
what I hope one of the weapons. Here's what I hope one of the weapons is, because this is apparently Roxanne Perez's signature weapon. An empty cardboard box. She threw Blair Davenport onto the ground in a convenience store and then threw several items at her. All of the items were empty cardboard boxes.
And ferociously. She
whipped them at her, but they could not have had a lot of velocity behind them because they're empty cardboard boxes. Here's the other thing. Right next to the empty cardboard boxes were empty milk crates. You know those plastic milk crates? Like those would hurt if you hit somebody. It's an empty cardboard box. Come on.
Maybe Blair Davenport was like, I'm not taking the milk carton bump. That doesn't work for me, brother. Please throw an empty cardboard box at me. I hope one of her weapons is anxiety. Like, it's just the concept of anxiety, and she throws it at Blair Davenport.
Yes, I guess it was corrugated board. Is that what they call that? We call it, it's cardboard. It's a cardboard box. It's a corrugated cardboard box.
Does he stop being smarter than us all the time, okay?
Yeah.
NXT's really dumb, and I'm like only medium smart on a good day. Okay?
Listen, Chewy runts are not available in the States. I spent an hour looking for them last night.
For those of you who are not subscribed to Fightful Select, you're missing out on some pretty great stuff, including us doing everything in our power to avoid talking about Raw yesterday.
Yeah.
It somehow started talking about Jujubes, and it turned into a discussion about Chewy runts, which I didn't even think were a thing. I thought it was a Mandela effect. And then Alex reveals this really ugly truth about himself, that he likes the banana flavored ones. And I was like, I lost respect for you. You're disgusting. And then the whole chat was like, I love banana flavored candy. And I was like, what are you talking about? It's disgusting. Cherry and strawberry for life, and blue raspberry when applicable. And then Alex is like, oh, grape is the worst artificial flavor. Like, we're not, like, he's not a grape right here in this logo.
I've turned against my own people. It's really sad, actually.
I separate the banana ones so that they're special.
I save them for last. I do.
And then the chat is like, oh, banana Laffy Taffy is the top. Get out of here.
This would be the ultimate prank from Alpha Bill. If I set up a P.O. box just so he can send me Chewy runts from Australia where they are still available after having removed all of the banana ones. That would be the ultimate prank.
It would, but at the same time, like, the other ones are still really good, right? So it's kind of still a W in that way.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's what you're missing on Fightful Select. That's $5 the biz. Go subscribe to hear us talk about candy.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's what you're gonna get from Roxanne. Everyone wanted this. Everyone wanted this to be me. Now it's me. I hope you're happy. Like committing felony assault in a public place. People wanted. Listen, there's a big gap between my anxiety is stopping me from winning matches, and I'm going to commit felonious assault in public.
Well, it was with cardboard boxes, so let's maybe. That's more like if a toddler tried to commit assault.
I mean, she hit her with a shopping cart, and then smashed her face into a freezer glass door. So,
what a brawl! Like, what are we? Roxanne is so good. What are we doing? Yeah. I think the match will be really good if they don't over gimmick it, though. Like, if Roxanne actually shows some, like, she digs in deep to her 2.0s, like, it could be good for her to break out of this my anxiety controls my life thing.
Yeah.
Can we get more puns? This episode sucks.
Meet Nermus wants My Blue Heaven or for GTFO or Multiplicity. We already did Multiplicity.
We did.
You can go back and find that. You can find that. We did that like a year ago. You can find that in the archives.
Alex has a big crush on the lead actor.
I do. I'm a Michael Keaton guy, and I make no bones about it. My Blue Heaven. Maybe.
What are we doing this week, Alex?
We're doing a movie you found whose title I do not remember. It stars Sissy Spacek, the little kid from My Girl, and dead Andre the Giant. So,
and the first slide is dedicated to their dead moms.
Yep, dedicated to our moms.
I think it's literally called like Dear Mom. I'll go look it up. Why go see the Barbie movie when you could watch along with us?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Friday at noon.
Yep. So,
Trading Mom.
There you go. Cottage cheese. Very good. Very good.
On this day, I eat cheesy. I went around the bend like an hour ago.
Oh yeah, I know. We're done.
We are not. We've got songs.
It's true. This is also Arja saying an empty box is a metaphor for anxiety is on point.
That's very fair. Are you with that?
Noam Dar is in a wheelchair.
We don't deserve him.
On in the ring, and his stablemates, including Ora Mensa, with an accent now. Let's say a different accent. They are presenting him because they say that since Nathan Frazier didn't beat Noam Dar, he actually beat Ora Mensa, then Nathan Frazier isn't actually the Heritage Cup champion. So Noam Dar still is. So they bring out the Heritage Cup and show it to him, and he looks at it, wipes his eyes like he's in a cartoon, and then falls over backwards, leaps to his feet, gasping for air because now he is alive again because he has the Heritage Cup.
He disappeared. Oh, he's back. But he's fightful.
But I'm fightful. Hold on.
He is here, for he is fightful. We just don't deserve Noam Dar. This has no business being this good. He's so good.
No, it's true.
Kevin, on camera cut, go.
There you go.
There it is.
Back again.
Wait, now you go be Alex. There you go.
So they're very excited, and I was like, "Oh, is this what are they gonna do this?" And there's that Nathan Frazier's now pissed that this has happened, and no, because then Nathan Frazier comes out, and he's carrying his Heritage Cup with him up on his shoulder because that's what you do. Because it's as conspicuous as me carrying a table with a plug in it. And he's just like, no, wait, I don't think so. I believe I am the really Heritage Cup champion. If I'm not the Heritage Cup champion, then Bob is not my uncle.
There it is. If you didn't say it, I was gonna say it.
There's gonna be a because Dragon Lee is with him, and they bring out the Leon Ferois girls.
Yes.
And they're going to be an eight-person tag.
I think it's going to be a mess, but I think it'll be a fun mess.
It's going to be a mess. It's going to be a match that should be on a regular episode of NXT, but they're going to do it on the pre-show. So
yeah, that makes me want to vomit that he's on the pre-show and Dominik is in the main event.
Yeah. But no, this was a fun little segment. And Noam Dar
is like upsettingly good at this. Like they should not be getting away with this. And he's so good at it.
Yeah.
And I didn't think he always had a lot of fun personality, but I always viewed him as like in ring dude. He is crushing this very, very weird little thing that he is in with the metaphor.
Yep. Johnny Gargonzola. Okay, I'm out of puns from True Infamous, so thank you. So there was a Los Lotharios segment.
Yeah, they're so mad at each other.
From last week, where they're very angry at each other. And Humberto lays out his very simple reason for wanting to break up with Angel. He says, listen, are we chasing women or are we chasing glory? Because Lord knows you can't chase both. And Angel Garza is saying, come on, don't make me choose between my glory and my penis, because that is something a true friend would never do. And
he has a point.
This is their impasse. Is that Humberto believes you can only chase one. You can only chase women or glory. And Angel Garza believes there's room in his life for both.
I believe there's room in his life for both. I feel like those should not be mutually exclusive. I'm on the side of the womanizer in this. I feel like they're unrelated and that you can have broads and victories.
Yes.
I also don't want them to break up. They just got here.
Yeah.
Let them be a tag team.
Yeah. One more. The American Cheese, Cody Romano. It does make zero sense for them to come to NXT to have a match and then break up. You could have broke them up on the main roster. You didn't
or just send them down here separately.
Or send them down separately. Or I don't know, fill out the ranks of the LWO.
Or I don't know. They're a really good tag team. Just have them be a tag team.
Yeah, that'd be. Yeah, I know.
What is the gal that's gonna fight Tony D'Angelo and Stacks forever? Come on.
No.
Oh my God. Oh, it's the Creeds again. Come on. Give us Los Lotharios. They're great. I agree with that chat that was just up here. You would think the womanizer would go after the Mega Babe and Miss Lopez. I'm just saying. Because when she's on screen, the timeline is like, whoa. You know what I mean?
Yes. It's true. Feels obvious, right? Like
they might still go there. They have to hate each other for no reason.
Well, the other thing is that we've right now got two, basically, 4-person factions with 2 men and 2 women. We got the Metaphor, and then we've got Bob's Your Uncle and Dragon Lee and the 2 and the Ferois girls.
Correct. And you could scale up. Why not chase you whenever you wanted, and you could scale up.
Well, I'm just saying, like, if you added Los Lotharios plus Elektra Lopez and Lola.
Oh yeah.
Like, there's a 3-way little thing you could do with a lot of different combinations of fun stuff. You know. So.
I agree.
Yeah.
is starting to feel more Triple H heavy because I feel like Triple H loves his factions, obviously.
He does.
DX, duh.
Yeah.
So
Rhea Ripley defeated Lyra Valkyria in the in-ring main event. I mean, obviously, duh, but the match was decent, and Lyra Valkyria made Rhea work for it, certainly more than Rhea has had to work for it versus anybody not named Natalya that one time.
Right, and Natalya she beat handily twice before that.
Right, like one time Natalya made Rhea work for it. No one else has made Rhea work for it.
Doesn't this make Liv Morgan look like a fucking idiot? Was my thought.
I mean, they didn't actually have the match. She attacked her before the match, so at least Rhea has the respect for Lyra to like let her start the match. But Rhea wins. She claimed
that was a riptide.
That was a hell of a riptide.
Woo!
And then after the match, she pulls Lyra up and says, "Prove it to me. Prove to me you're this good. Beat Gacy Jane." And I'm like, I'm trying to find all the ways I don't like the idea of Rhea Ripley taking Lyra Valkyria under her wing on the main roster. And there aren't a lot of them. Like, I don't think there's a lot for Lyra to do in NXT. Like there's
I don't know if that's where we're going. Like, I actually don't hate that idea either, and I feel like stylistically that could be really fun. But I feel like that's more like a vote of confidence from the champ kind of thing. I think that was just like a Rhea putting her over move, but I wouldn't hate it. I think that could be a really fun combo. She obviously came in with like her feathers gimmick and had some stuff going on. She could easily slide into Spooky Town. It would be nice to have another gal kicking around Judgment Day, but I would also like to see Rhea Ripley, and I know this is crazy.
I know.
Have matches with the women on the main roster where she is the champion.
I agree.
But this was a good match for what we saw tonight. What they gave me was good tonight.
This is something they'll never do, but something to be very fun for me personally, because it would result in Dom the character being sad. But if Rhea Ripley traded in Dominik for Lyra Valkyria, that would make me all kinds of happy.
Yeah, no, that would be really fun.
That would be really fucking great.
If she was like, "Hey, you're pretty useless, huh?"
Yeah.
Oh, this girl's a badass.
So yeah, this match was pretty decent. Good for women to main event, in the
really good. Really good stuff.
And then Trick goes to the ring to call out Ilja. Ilja runs down to the ring and they brawl quite a lot, actually. And Ilja is wearing loafers.
Yeah, this made me actually sincerely nervous.
Sockless and loafers. At least Trick in his street clothes is wearing athletic shoes. Like Correct. The amount of running and stopping short and having to put the brakes on, like running around on those surfaces in sockless loafers is a great way to snap a tendon. Let's just not do dumb things like that. If you're going to have a brawl, wear proper shoes. I know it's kind of cool to like have all this European dude in loafers or whatever, but it's not like you got surprised that there was a brawl and you didn't expect it in kayfabe. You came to the ring knowing you were going to fight a guy. Put on some real shoes, man.
Yeah, I don't like it from a real life perspective. The disrespect part of it of like, I don't even need to put on like wrestling shoes or even athletic shoes to beat your ass is kind of fun. Like I like that kind of arrogance. Like I like when MJF doesn't even bother to throw out his gum because he squashes someone in 12 seconds. Like I love that stuff. The sincere issue of like, I'm scared he's going to actually hurt himself. Different story. But I also, very easy for me to sit here and agree with you, but like I gotta assume that Ilja Dragunov knows his limits of those things at this point in his life.
Right.
But it did make me nervous.
Yeah, I gotcha.
He's so
cool
good little brawl. What a villainy looking dude right now with like his facial hair and it's really fun.
So he's beating the absolute dog shit out of Trick. Trick is about to take the Moscow torpedo, but he is saved by Carmelo, and then Dragunov does his great style of promo that he does that is just clipped and like it doesn't he doesn't there's the cadence of it doesn't the cadence of it is absolutely from a person who's speaking English as their fifth languages, you know, like just the way that he's like, yo, prize loyalty above all else, Carmelo Hayes. I respect that about you. Hold your friendship with Trick Williams high, because after Sunday, it will be all you have left when I take your NXT championship. Like, I just love the way he does that. It's so great. I have no idea. He's great. Like it's what's wonderful. It does sound like this. It does very much sound like Dragunov must crush capitalism. Like it does sound that a little bit. It's great.
I really like the pure fan in me wants, and I know he's not going to, but like just wants Dragunov to win. Like I'm just kind of always rooting for that guy. He gets me so invested in everything. His last man standing match with Dijak was incredible. I don't know how much there is for him to do in NXT realistically, but I don't know where he goes on the main roster either. So I'm looking very forward to a world title match with Ilja Dragunov and Carmelo Hayes. But I'm just such a fan of his work and what he does. Like he's just excellent at this and has managed to, I don't know, like what the negotiation of who you are in NXT is backstage, but it feels like he's always been able to maintain a semblance of who he is and where he's at. And a lot of that is just commanding who you are as a pro wrestler. I feel like that you are certain enough in who you are, that you can be thrown into wackadoodle environments like this and still be able to thrive. So good for him, because he's just fantastic.
Yeah.
In my head, there's a stable with him and Claudio and Giovanni Vinci.
Yeah. And Alpha Bill, no, of course we didn't, because Luis didn't put it on the rundown.
Yeah, Luis. What has that guy ever done other than
the Dijak promo was fun.
I love Dijak.
He's great. He fully is invested in this gimmick, as cheesy as it is. It's great, and he's having a blast doing it. But he's feuding with Eddie Thorpe now. Should be fun.
Pepperjack? Can I get a die Pepperjack?
You're good.
I feel like in NXT you gotta go one way or the other, and you go the Dragunov route that I just said, or you go the Dijak Noam Dar route, and you just lean in real hard. And Dijak has leaned in real hard. I'm having so much fun with this run from him. It's a blast. And the in-ring work he's been doing has been great. So I'm looking forward to this. This should be good stuff. Yeah. And Eddie Thorpe's fantastic in the ring from what we've seen. So I'm very much looking forward to how hard hitting that's going to be. That'll be a blast. So
I just want to do a real quick thing that I saw somebody say, and I don't know that this person actually knows the history of Dragunov and Walter Gunther. But they were like, you know, it would be really cool to add to Imperium is that Dragunov guy. And I was like, I don't know that would work, but here's what I think would work that would be really fun, and you could run the fucking whole under the mid card of this for a while. Dragunov comes in to feud with Walter Gunther. And this is where more and more they keep talking down to Giovanni Vinci. and an Imperium split with Giovanni Vinci joining Dragunov, and those like a warring thing of that were like, because 3-on-1 can't do it. But if they keep on like talking down to Giovanni Vinci, it's like, you know what, screw you guys. And he goes and joins like that. Like I would not mind those matches at all. Those would be really fun. That'd be a fun little thing you could do to like make it fun. A fun little thing you could do to make it fun. There you go. See, that's me not using my brain.
You could do to make it fun.
Kiss my grits. Pun 69. Toodles.
Toodles.
Jesse Ozog's Media Hour says a cereal box is cardboard. The boxes you get from Amazon, made of 2 layers of cardboard with some squiggly stuff in the middle, is corrugated board. My second job during my graduate degree was in a factory that made corrugated boxes.
All right, fair enough. It makes sense that it's an area of expertise, but I still feel like you're just genuinely smarter than us.
Yeah, well, and also splitting hairs. Because if I feel like if I said, hey, can you hand me that cardboard box to 90% of the population, they would know exactly what I was talking about.
I'd have no clue.
And they would not hand me an empty cereal
I'd be like, this mailbox? Is that what you were referring to?
Yeah. So here we go. Matthew Plus says another riveting episode of Al and the voice of the moistless. What? Matthew Plus, why are you going through my tweets from a year and a half ago?
Looking up the word moist. Weirdo. Creep. Definitely has never been nice to me in his life.
Wasn't it? Oh, somebody cut a promo on CM Punk and called him the voice of the moistless, which I thought was
very good.
At the time, I thought that was funny. So I tweeted about it and he found it. That was really good. It's Really Brian says, didn't watch NXT yet because the Subway series was on. Sorry, Kate. I was at SmackDown Friday and we got a Tiffany versus Kiana dark match with Tiff working face. Between her and the Charlotte versus Io match, that's 3 of the best moonsaults. Also, Techno Cheese 2000.
God love you. And your commitment to the bit that is it's a bit to my bit of just propping up Techno Team 2000 with Eric Watts and another guy who I always forget.
Yep. Yeah.
A really bad Y2K gimmick.
I think that was MJF that said the voice of the moistless line.
So it has to be, right?
It's an MJF thing, right?
Yeah.
Tom LaValle points out that I believe that Rio was 9 when she debuted. So maybe the whole 16 years old Thea Hale prodigy thing.
Let's not pretend that 16 years old isn't like young.
Try doing it when you're in 3rd grade and get back to me, Thea Hale. Okay, so is this it? Or do we have any more? We have a few more puns, and then
let's lightning round it because we're at 2 hours.
Mr.
Already.
Showtime says, Kate, where the hell are your bangs tonight? But you brought them back.
I brought them
back. Meet Norma says to Scott, Vicky, and Mr. Showtime and my Knights of Meat Castle. Also, Kate, still doing the Daniel Garcia dance. Mini Vince will never return. All hail Meat. I don't know who Mini Vince is.
I think Dan Snyder.
Oh, there you go. Mr. Showtime says Shetty Kingston. True says the icon Swiss. Okay, now
we got Eddie Kingston and Ishii in this next round of the G1.
Meet Norma says dripping with machismo. Razor Romano, the bad Gouda.
That's very good.
Jesse Ozog says Pepper Jack Perry or Monterey Jack Perry.
Very good.
Meet Norma says the cheddarless one. Keith Bree Toodles. And Dave Berman says Souffle City. Souffle City.
Souffle City, bitch.
City. True Infamous 73 says Johnny Gorgonzola. We gotta get that one. Nope, one more. American Cheese, Cody Romano.
We got that one too.
And then True Infamous says Asiago Open. Okay, now I'm done now. Good night.
Wait.
Last week, Jake Salazar said at least Blood and Guts is tomorrow. We said that last week.
That didn't age well, but that match was wild.
Yeah. All right. Okay, here we go. Some jukeboxes. There we go.
And we're at 2 hours, so no more, please. We appreciate
Swiss cheese, many holes, something, Cody Rhodes. Meat Enormous wanted that to be sung by Linda. Said, "Hey,
it was
girl."
Beautiful.
Mm-hmm. Okay, here we go. Oh my goodness, this is these are okay. So can we get? Let's do Tiffany, so I can get prepared for some of these. Tiffany to sing. Deo, the Banana Boat song.
Oh, come on. No, I hate banana flavored things, so I like bananas.
Listen.
Deo. Daylight come and me wanna go home. Day me say day, me say Deo. Daylight come and me wanna go home. Work all night on a drink of rum. Stack banana till the morning come. Come, Mr. Tallyman, tally me banana. Come, Mr. Tallyman, tally me banana. Lift 6 foot, 7 foot, 8 foot bunch. 6 foot, 7 foot, 8 foot bunch. Day me say Deo. Day me say day. Me say day. Me say day. Me say day. Me say Deo. A beautiful bunch of ripe banana. Hide the deadly black tarantula. Ew. Lift 6 foot, 7 foot, 8 foot bunch. 6 foot, 7 foot, 8 foot toodles.
Darby Allin sings "Achy Breaky Heart." You can tell the world he was ever my girl. You can burn my clothes when I'm gone. Or you can tell your friends just what a fool I've been and laugh and joke about me on the phone. You can tell my arms to go back to the farm. You can tell my feet to hit the floor. Or you can tell my lips to tell my fingertips they won't be reaching out for you no more. But don't tell my heart, my achy, breaky heart. I just don't think he'd understand, Malachi Black. And if you tell my heart, my achy, breaky heart, he might blow up and kill this man, Brody King. That's good. What is this? Okay, there's a lot of these. There's a couple of good duets here. I want to save shit later. Oh, here's one. Here's good. Somehow okay, Tom Valley wants Walter singing "Landslide" by Fleetwood Mac. Some of these say these are so damn good. Okay, here we go. I took my love to get down. I climbed the mountain, I turned around. I saw my reflection in the snow-covered hills till the landslide brought me down. Oh, mirror in the sky, what is love? Can the child within my right heart rise above? Can I sail through the changing ocean tides? Can I handle the seasons of my life? Well, I've been afraid of changing because I built my life around you, but time makes you bolder. Even children get older, and I'm getting older too. Yeah. Thank you. Okay. Vicky says Dom sucks. Darby sings "Who Are the People in Your Neighborhood" from Sesame Street. Love you both. Love you too, Vicky. Vicky's having a rough time tonight, so this is for Vicky. Okay. All right. Well, there's a lot of people in the neighborhood, so I guess Darby will be the part of Bob, and the Muppets will be other people. Here we go.
This is ambitious. I like it.
This is gonna be good. Oh, who are the people in your neighborhood? In your neighborhood? In your neighborhood? Say, who are the people in your neighborhood? The people that you meet each day. Oh, hi there, little fella. Hello. Hey, listen, you know who you could be if I give you this little hat and this bag to go over your shoulder? I could be a laundryman. No, not a laundryman. How about Santa Claus? No, not Santa Claus. Oh, well, what's wrong with Santa Claus? Well, there's nothing wrong with Santa Claus, but don't you like Christmas? I love Christmas, but you could be the postman. Oh, a postman. Oh, the postman always brings the mail through rain or snow or sleet or hail. I'll work and work the whole day through to get your letter safe to you. Because a postman is a postman in your neighborhood. In your neighborhood, he's in your neighborhood. A postman is the person in your neighborhood, a person that you meet each day. Wow. That was harder than I thought it would be.
That was tough.
That is a hard one to do. I did not realize how hard it was going to be to go from Darby to Nathan Frazier and back. That would be.
Well, they're very different ends of the spectrum, you know?
Yeah, no, that's true. They are. Tiffany sings "Why Don't You Do Right" by Jessica Rabbit from Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Let me open it. Let me find it. Where are you? There it is. Oh, Peggy Lee. Okay. You had plenty of money, 1922. You let other women make a fool of you. Why don't you do right like some other men do? Get out of here and get me some money too. You're sitting down and wondering what it's all about. You ain't got no money. They will put you out. Why don't you do right like some other men do? Get out of here and get me some money too. If you had prepared 20 years ago, you wouldn't be wandering now from door to door. Why don't you do right like some men do? Get out of here and get my money too. Toodles.
All right, here we go. Run the Jewels. Call Ticketron. By Nathan Frazier and
Nathan Frazier, a notorious RTJ fan.
Yeah, here we go. Run the Jewels live at the Garden, licking off shots and we aim for the darkness. May it get hot for a target. Kids cook s'mores off the crotch of our targets. Kumbaya, bitch. Buckle up, little trooper. Can't get past me. I'm stuck in the future. Shit ain't all up it's cracked up to be. The hovercraft's cool, but the air's so putrid. And Bob's your uncle. You can tell by the stench in the air. Blood's on the ground. Opportunity is here. I'm looking into space like is anybody there? And if aliens are here, please tell me how near do you come in peace, or should everybody fear? I'll await your reply with a blunt and a beer. I'll be the high guy with the belly and the beard. Smoke signal ET, AT aliens here. War games.
I miss him being on screen.
Me too. Okay, so I got to do these back to back because it requires a wig. Here you go, Ceases. I hope you're watching.
Yeah, my Cease twins.
Here we go. Ricky
You're
Rainbow.
Fanned out today, Ricky.
Yeah, I am. Feeling Creepy says first, charcuterie flair. Second, can we get Ricky Rainbow singing Wonderful World by Louis Armstrong? Yes, we can. All right, Ceases. Hope you're watching. Here we go. It's for you. I see trees are green, red roses too, love. I see them bloom for me and you. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I see skies are blue, clouds are white, the bright blessed days, the dark sacred nights, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. The colours of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, are also in the faces of people going by. I see friends shaking hands saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you, love. I hear babies cry and watch them grow. They'll learn much more than I'll ever know. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Yes, I think to myself, what a wonderful world.
What a wonderful world wrapped in an enigma.
Yeah. And Lieutenant Photo wants Ricky Rainbow to sing Taylor Swift. Look what you made me do for Allie.
Emily is a Ricky Rainbow stand and Swiftie too. I just want you guys to know.
Okay.
It's important to me that you know that.
I don't like your little games. I don't like your tilted stage, the role you made me play of the fool. No, I don't like you. I don't like your little perfect crime. How you laugh when you lie. You said the gun was mine. It isn't cool. No, I don't like you, but I got smarter. I got harder in the nick of time. Honey, I rose up from the dead. I do it all the time. I got a list of names and yours is in red, underlined. I check it once and I check it twice. Oh, look what you made me do. Look what you made me do. Look what you just made me do. Look what you just made me. Oh, look what you made me do. Look what you made me do. Look what you just made me do. Look what you just made me do. Look at me. It's like I'm not even a mystery wrapped in an enigma anymore. I don't even know who I am. If I'm not wrapped in an egg roll wrapper, wrapped in a tortilla. Look what you made me do. Thank you. Okay, that's good. Tiffany to sing The Humbling River by Pussifer or Pussifer. What is that?
Pussifier.
Pussifier? Pacifier? Pussifier? What?
Pussifier. Nature, nurture, heaven, and home. Some of all, and by them driven, to conquer every mountain shown, but I've never crossed the river. Braved the forests, braved the stone, braved the icy winds and fire. Braved and beat them on my own, yet I'm helpless by the river. Angel, angel, what have I done? I faced the quakes, the wind and fire. I've conquered country, crown, and throne. Why can't I cross this river? Angel, angel, what have I done? I faced the quakes, the wind and fire. I've conquered country, crown, and throne. Why can't I cross this river? Ludwig, why? Toodles.
It's good. So this is Matt Riddle and Giovanni Vinci doing the booth scene in the movie Heat. And this is also added bonus. This was a pain in the ass, says Luis. So here we are.
That's what happens when you leave out a segment by accident.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, go ahead.
Here we go. Here we go. 7 years in San Quentin in the hole for 3. McNeil before that. Yeah. Was McNeil as tough as they say? You're looking to become a penologist. You're looking to go back? I chased some crews. The guys were looking to fuck up and get busted back, bro. You must have worked some dipshit crews. I worked all kinds, bro. You see me doing a thrill-seeker liquor store hold-ups with a born-to-lose tattoo on my chest. No, I do not. Right. And I'm never going back. The adversarial intensity is eye to eye. I believe that was supposed to be in a parentheses, so I do not read it. It's not my line. It's the thing that I supposed. Here we go. The adversarial intensity is eye to eye. Here we go. See, that was me doing the adversarial intensity. Then don't take down scars. Do what I do best. I take scores. You do what you do best, trying to stop a guys like me, huh? Thank you. This is a very long scene. I'm not going to do all of it. But I hope that was satisfactory to everybody. All right, here we go. Electric Mayhem wants a jukebox from Soggy Seabright, New Jersey. A duet for Darby Allin and Tiffany Stratton as Tony Bennett and Lady Gaga.
Oh.
Tony Bennett, 96 years old, just passed away.
Yeah.
Here we go. All right. Right. Okay, let's see here. Well, why don't you do verse number 1 and I'll do verse number 2. So we'll try and do the first ones together. Okay. My story is much too sad to be told.
But practically everything leaves me totally cold.
The only exception I know is the case.
When I am out on a quiet spree, fighting vainly the old ennui?
Ennui.
I don't even know what the word.
Ennui is a thing that Darby Allin knows a lot about. It's mostly ennui. This whole thing is mostly ennui.
I just didn't know.
And suddenly I turn and see your fabulous face. You talking about me?
I get no kick from champagne. Mere alcohol doesn't thrill me at all. So tell me, why should it be true that I get a kick out of you?
Some, they may go for cocaine. I'm sure that if I took even one sniff, it would bore me terrifically too. Yet I get a kick out of you, Malachi Black.
I get a kick every time I see you standing there before me.
I get a kick, though it's clear to see you obviously don't adore me, Brody King.
I get no kick in a plane, flying too high with some gal in the sky.
It's my idea of nothing to do, Julia Hart. Yet I get a kick out of you.
I get a kick out of you. Toodles.
Thank you, everybody. You're great, and we love you.
And I appreciate you sticking around for this cheesy show.
Very cheesy. Very cheesy. We'll be back next week for something. Hey, tune in this Sunday on this here channel when we review the Great American Bash.
Will it be great nor American? Discuss. Everything's cheese.
Everything's cheese. I was trying. I can't remember what was the other. What do I usually say? Oh, that's right. Keep cool.